Well, we just saw one heck of a light heavyweight title fight. Artur Beterbiev defeats Dmitry Bivol by majority decision. One judge had it a draw, 114, 114. The other two scores were 116, 112, 115, 113 in favor of Artur Beterbiev. Beterbiev remains undefeated, 21-0, now with 20 knockouts. He goes to a decision for the first time. Dmitry Bivol drops to 23-1. What a fight it was. I scored it 115, 113 for Dmitry Bivol. I thought he was outboxing Beterbiev. I know Beterbiev was throwing the harder punches, and he threw more punches, but Bivol landed at a higher percentage, and I think you have to take that into consideration. I don't have a huge problem with the score. To me, it was one of those fights you could arrange from 115, 113 for Bivol to 115, 113 for Beterbiev. I think a draw would have been an appropriate score. I thought the 116, 112 score was a little bit wide in favor of Artur. And I'll say this, at the end of the 10th round, the corner of Artur Beterbiev was telling him, you need to go finish the fight. Now, smart corners will say things to their fighter to try to motivate him and get him going, knowing, hey, it's a close fight and we don't know how the judges are seeing this. But I think the way and the urgency that they said that was saying that they too felt like Bivol was outboxing Artur. I just kind of felt like Bivol did a really good job of staying off the ropes, keeping the fight in the middle of the ring, jabbing and occasionally, throwing that shoe shine sort of combination that he did. He landed about the same number of punches. And so, maybe that's the difference. In pro boxing, the power of the punches is definitely scored. And you have to consider that because it is part of the scoring criteria. And so, Artur was clearly landing the harder shots. In fact, Bivol's left eye was very black and blue and swollen. And he said that it came from when he put his glove up to block and Beterbiev hitting it, and it was going back into his eye, and it gave him a black eye. And you didn't hear Dmitry complaining a lot about the results. So that told me that, while he may have thought he won, that, he was not outraged and he knew it was a fight that could have gone either way. The punch stats just came in and they were very interesting, very even. Let me just pull those up here a split second, but they were very even type numbers. And so the final punch stats in this fight, Artur Beterbiev lands 137 punches. He threw 682 punches. That was 20.1 connect percentage. Dmitry Bivol lands 142 punches. He throws 423. That was a 33.6 connect percentage. So what do you think of that fight? Artur actually threw, according to CompuBox, and I don't remember seeing this many jabs by Artur, but they had Artur connecting on 47 of 376 jabs. That is a lot of jabs. And Bivol, who I thought jabbed very well and did good, he ended up with 58 jab punches landed out of 255. So, it remains to be seen. But let's be honest here. Beterbiev's jab is a power punch, let alone, everything else he throws. And he wears you down. And that's one of the things I said in my preview going into the fight, that you would see Beterbiev just try to touch Bivol somewhere, because after a while, your hands are up and you're struggling because, you're getting hit, and you just go down and you just go down. You can't take it anymore. Your arms get weary, your shoulders start hurting, and if you keep your hands high, which Bivol did, then you see Artur go into the body. And Artur, especially in that second half of the fight, I saw him throw a lot of shots to the body. The thing that I was disappointed with Artur in was he did not trap Bivol in a corner or on the ropes at all in the fight. So maybe you praise Bivol for that. But I kind of thought that Artur, was going to be able at some point, to cut off the ring and then get Bivol in a confined space and be able to throw. But give Bivol credit. His game plan was to kind of spin off those ropes and keep the fight in the center of the ring, where he kind of thought he had the advantage. Now, I told you before the fight, too, that I thought Bivol was the better boxer, but that Beterbiev had very good boxing skills. And I think we saw that in this fight. Bivol commanded the ring, and I thought, he really, was in and out, side to side. He did a lot of really good things in terms of boxing. Beterbiev moved forward. His feet were good, and he was just throwing big, hard, scary shots. But I didn't think that he did as good as he could have done the few times that Dmitri's back hit the ropes. I don't think he ever was stuck in a corner one time. And, there was one point in the fight where maybe once, his back was on the ropes and he did that. But very, very, very good fight. I think it elevated the sport. Having these kind of fights is very important for the sport of boxing because, when we can show the public, we as boxing fans can show the public the very best the sport has to offer, and two guys competing at the highest level, it draws new fans in, or it brings lapsed fans back. And I think that's what we're going to see from this fight. Now, the problem is we don't get this going on consistently, and we have to do it. Both guys were asked in the ring by Chris Mannix, would they do rematches? And both of them said they would. Arthur, I think, said if His Excellency wants it, he would do it. And Bivol said, sure, why not? I think that's the fight to make right now, right? I don't know what other fight would really make sense. You have David Benavidez is going to fight David Morrell in January. Benavidez would be a good fight for Beterbiev. Imagine that fight. Those two guys going. And there was a lot of thought that Canelo Alvarez and Dmitry Bivol were going to fight. And I suppose that's still possible, right? Canelo is a big money guy in the division. And if he wants that fight, they're going to make it very hard for Dmitry Bivol to say no. But if I know Canelo, I think Canelo is going to want to fight Dmitry Bivol when Bivol has all the belts, when Bivol is the man, not coming off a loss. And so, I think Canelo will probably look in another direction for his next fight, which, who knows when that is going to be, but probably in May. That's kind of what he tends to do. So I would think that, we'll see Canelo fight somebody else. Who knows if if Benavidez and Morrell is a good fight, maybe he fights the winner in May. That could be a possibility. There would be enough time for the winner of that fight to turn around. But I think we're going to see a rematch, and I would like to see a rematch between Beterbiev and Bivol. I think it was a high-level fight, but I think both guys can still raise their game. And that's really what I like when you see a fight where, you felt like, hey, it was a fun fight, but both guys had things that they could have done better. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next. But a very good fight. Artur Beterbiev, now the undisputed light heavyweight champion. I'm sorry about that. The undisputed light heavyweight champion. He is 21-0 with 20 knockouts. And I got lucky because I was 3-0 on my bets today. If you read my betting column on KevinIoli.com, I picked Beterbiev by decision. I think I had him at plus 120. I picked Beterbiev by decision at plus 700, Beterbiev to win at plus 20. And then I picked over 10.5 rounds at minus 205. So I win all of those. Nice little haul for me, but I ended up thinking that it went the other way, right? So anyways, good fight. Good for boxing. Congratulations to Artur Beterbiev. Congratulations to Dmitry Bivol on a great performance. It was a fun fight. Glad to see what happened. Appreciate both guys, the effort they put forth. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay here for more combat sports content. Would appreciate it greatly if you would like this video and also subscribe to my channel. It would help me immensely. A lot of good stuff coming up in the next couple of days. You don't want to miss it. I am Kevin Ioli in Las Vegas. I hope you enjoyed that fight. We will talk to you soon, my friends.